So, in Australia, Adelaide Oval is actually one of the most successfully attended stadiums or venues in regards to AFL. So when you think about it, there's over 1 million people that actually attend these events. So we decided that with the average numbers of 43,200 people on a 53,500 seat capacity stadium, attending an AFL match on a weekly basis is something that we should consider, because that's a great way to actually make money. It's not only that, but also create a digital innovation that is probably not used very effectively now in this current day and age. We've roughly estimated that about 10% of Adelaide Oval members are actually not Crows and Port Adelaide supporters, but are Adelaide Oval AFL members. Therefore, you would say that there is that challenge that Crows and Port Adelaide supporters, even though they get reserved seats, Adelaide Oval members who are AFL members don't. So we decided, well, hang on, that's a bit unfair. And in that sense, we thought, if they cannot find seats, what's one way that they can do this? One way they can, and they might be able to do this, is to get there really early, but then they'll have that risk of waiting for a few hours. Alright, so in that sense, we were very lucky to use me as a sort of a member, because I'm an Adelaide Oval AFL member. So Albert and Tran themselves used this journey map to finalise what we talked about, with emphasising about what I go through and about what other people go through. So they were very fortunate to ask me questions, and then I could tell my frustrations and why I would say the bad things about what's going on now and what could be improved, and what I was thinking, what I was feeling. In that sense, they created this journey map, a bit of a feeling flow, the actions that I took, and what I was thinking when I was waiting there to actually attend an event. So, we put the process together. We broke down what our impatience are, what the frustrations are, and then we decided how can we actually understand these people that actually are Adelaide Oval members, AFL members. And by using design thinking to create this digital innovation to address these pain points that these people might have, so that we can come up with a solution.
Alright, so good morning everyone. So now we proceed to our top 3 ideation. So our team, Tran, Simon and I, we brainstorm in order for us to be able to think of ideas how to enhance the Adelaide Oval member event goers, just to simply enhance and boost their experience. So the first idea that we've thought about is the priority access. Next is the seat parking. And lastly, not the least, is seat booking. Alright, so now we go to first the priority access. So priority access is simply like what the word priority means, is that simply giving priority access to Adelaide Oval members for them to be able to enter the Adelaide Oval grounds and be able to find a seat quickly and be able to avoid the crowd. Yeah. So here are some of the pros and cons that we found. So the pros is that it's easy to implement. There's really nothing much to fuss about. It's inexpensive and can get inside the stadium quickly. But the cons are, okay, so there might be possible ethical issues, because you got like really avid Port Adelaide goers, Crow supporters, and then they might think that, hey, why do they get in first? So we might have a little bit of problem there, all right? And next, which is the main important thing, is that you still don't get a seat. So you still have to struggle your way in order for you to get a seat, right? And next up is the seat parking, which is an idea that we have, which is inspired with the car park system that we have nowadays. So with car park systems, we have a light indicator, which turns red if the car park is not available, and turns green if the car park is available. So we thought of applying the same way. Okay, so if the seat is taken, then you'll have an indicator that will turn red, and then it'll turn green if the seat is available. And then we're thinking of placing a bunch of monitors all around the stadium in order for you to be able to see and view where the available seats are. And also, in addition to that, would be an app wherein you can download and also try to look through all the available seats. And lastly, but certainly not the least, okay, So the cons for this one is that it's really difficult to implement. because of the really advanced technologies that is required in order to be able to detect if the seat is taken or not. And next is that it's going to be quite expensive, because again, it's because of the advanced technologies that needs to be put in place. And lastly, still the main point is you still don't get a seat, so there's no allocated seat for you, right? And lastly is the idea that we've gone for and we're pushing through is the seat booking. So this idea is inspired with the current booking systems with the flights and with the moviegoers, yeah? So when booking a flight, there's an option that you can actually choose a seat in order to enhance and boost your experience. And also the same for the movies. Okay, so you can choose a seat in order for you to enhance and boost your movie experience, alright? And you have that seat for the entire duration of the actual movie or the actual flight. So here are some of the pros that we have identified is that first and foremost, which is the most important thing, is that you have a pre-allocated seat. So that saves you the worry of not being able to find a seat. So you can actually sit back and relax. You don't have to go in early just to find a seat. Next is that it's pretty convenient since it's available through the app. You don't have to go anywhere, you don't have to move, and it's supported, the payment that we've actually applied, we support PayPal and credit and debit cards. So it's pretty easy, okay? So, and our app is pretty straightforward, which we're gonna show you later on. And there's only one con that we've identified, okay? And that is simply putting out an extra box, all right? So, but weighing and comparing to the actual amazing experience that you're going to be experiencing while watching the game, I don't think that would matter much. So what's $5 if you get to experience like 2 hours of the event, yeah? Okay, so that's it for me, and I'm going to pass you on to Tran to explain more about our app.
So I would like to present the demo the app to book the That's it. And we decided app based on the Adelaide Oval. First of all, you need to register and enter the field name, and it's done. And after that, you find the area 525 and on level 5, and click on level 5. And can you jump in and jump out with the finger and choose 525, and after that you can choose the 6, 8, 7, 8, 9, and you can see the view first and confirm the view you can sit, and after that you can book in. If you have the Adelaide Oval, you can book in, and if you not the Adelaide Oval, you cannot to book in. And click on the ticket number, the member number, and after that you check out. It is show the confirm seat when you sure you cannot, you can no, and enter in your payment. And I have two kind of payment, is credit card or the PayPal, and you can choose one of each. If they choose the credit card, you can enter the number, month, and year, and CVV address, and you click to pay, and this is set the confirm you want to pay or you want to change the kind of payment, and this is the successful to booking the seat. And then I will talk about some problem encourage to why implementation when I use the app. The firstly is non-use application, because it is the useful when they have event and use it for the booking access. And secondly is the fluctuation of booking system, because the system is very complete and it's difficult to use because it have a lot of things to do. And thirdly, it is only related to the member, because if they don't have the member, you cannot to booking the seat, you can just book in when I have the membership in Adelaide Oval. And the last one is it is limit to the minimum to book in 2 hours before, because that's why it is easy to overload, because a lot of people to book in a seat in the same time. And that's it.
Thank you. Any questions?
I liked your interactive presentation on the slide itself.
Thank you.
Well, I'll allow comment.
Credits to Simon.
I agree.
I don't know how you did it, but
Very professional, very professional slideshow there. Very good. Any comments or any questions?
I have a question for Albert. What's the problem we're trying to solve? I've got some of it, but not all of it. So what's the problem?
Oh yeah, the main problem is with the issue of Adelaide Oval members. When they go to an event, or well, more specifically about AFL games, they don't have a seat, so they don't have pre-allocated seats.
Yes.
So now what they have to do is to either go there really early, and then try to fight for the seat, like try to find a seat.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's the main problem or issue that we're trying to solve. So with the
Why
booking
is there
system,
not got a seat? Because
You don't get one.
don't get one.
yeah, they just don't get one.
So they're allocated to Adelaide members, or
No.
No, they're not allocated to Adelaide Oval members.
no, I mean to Adelaide Crows members. If
You
you're
don't get a seat. As an Adelaide Oval member, you don't get given a seat.
No.
You just get entrance into the ground.
Yes, you just get free entrance, but you don't get a seat allocation.
First,
Yeah, it's a bit confusing. I get confused as well at the first time,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's why I had to ask Simon over and over again for me to.
so you've got
read the issue.
guaranteed access, or
you're guaranteed entry into the ground,
Yep.
but you haven't got a guaranteed seat.
So you have to buy a seat as a
And it costs you, I just got my renewal yesterday, $650
yeah.
a year
no-
for no seat. It's a
You
real
can go on the stand.
yeah, but if you get there early,
Right.
you get a seat if you get there early.
So if you could get there late,
You may not get a
you
seat.
might get a
Yeah.
$16 stand.
Yeah.
And if you
Anyway, that's
Very good.
okay. In terms of the testing that you did with the other groups, what did you learn from the test? Did you change your prototype as a result of testing? Did you learn something?
I learned some thing to need to
Maybe the whole group. I mean,
Testing the app itself.
yeah. When we did that testing a couple of weeks ago from other teams, looking at your app, what did you change? What did you learn as a result of other people giving you feedback?
There were some issues that we would have thought, okay, maybe we should include that photo. Being an Adelaide Oval member myself, or any event you go to, sometimes you can't see the seat or the view where you're sitting, and then when you get there, you'll be disappointed. We want to make sure that people, before they get to a game, can see that view. We didn't think about it at the first prototype because we thought, okay, let's include it for this one. But also the fact that, people do have PayPal accounts now that it's the new technology, so we implemented that as well. But it was pretty much just going back and forth about what we could include, what we can take out. There were a few things we took out and things that we could test that might work and probably doesn't work. So it was trial and error, really. All of it.
And yeah, we just simply implemented some of the minor things that we got as feedback, that just like showing a summary of the seat that's been chosen, or when you actually select the seat, so that the user can get to view the seats before they actually confirm the actual booking. So just some minor things that we have actually put in place.
The second question is Simon. As far as an interface, you chose an app. Why choose an app rather than a website, or a website and an app?
Yeah, good question. Well, because when you go to a game, you don't really think about logging onto a computer when you're in your car, for example. A lot of people that do go to games are travelling from very long distances, and if they don't have their computer, they're obviously